Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Renton Reflects. Growing up in my youth, I used to watch a lot of Disney animated films on VHS tape. Some I watched multiple times, some I watched at least once, maybe a few times. From my personal experience, I did not watch this one very much. Before I can further elaborate on that, let me tell you what happens in the story. Featuring mostly a cast of anthropomorphic mice, it takes place in 1897 London. A small girl mouse named Olivia Flaversham seeks help from the great Basil of Baker Street to find her missing father, who had just been kidnapped as part of an evil plot by a sewer rat named Ratigan. With the help from his assistant Dawson, Basil must solve the mystery before Ratigan could become ruler of all mice. As a child, I remember watching this on VHS tape only a few times. Not to say that I didn't like it, it just didn't leave as much of an impression on me as many of the other Disney films did. This is partially because I couldn't easily catch what was being said in bits of the dialogue and what was sung in the song lyrics. Most particularly when Basil uses eloquent vocabulary while making his deductions and using strategy to get out of certain situations. Of course, this was before subtitles became an available option for DVDs and streaming services. At least with the visual direction, I got what was going on and was able to enjoy the film just fine. Now that I'm a lot older and having watched it again recently, not only do I understand the dialogue and the song lyrics better, but it also holds up rather nicely, for it's almost exactly as I remembered it. Speaking of visuals, did you know that this was one of the first animated films to incorporate some computer animation? This is most notable during the climactic scene near the end of the film. Even in the early days of CGI, the way it was utilized alongside the 2D animation, which, by the way, is very quaint, is practically seamless. I also ought to give praise to the voice cast, for they were able to make all of the characters very likable, both the good and the bad ones. It's often been said that for the part of Ratigan, it was Vincent Price's favorite role, and it seems apparent that he was having a lot of fun with it. One might even say that he loved it when he was nasty. If I were to find any fault with the film, there may be one or two moments I'm not exactly sure would fly by today's standards. Like there's this one scene taking place in a tavern where all the male patrons are watching a musical act on stage, and all the female mice dancers in that act are wearing burlesque outfits. One could make the argument that the film was going for historical accuracy in terms of burlesque dancers being an acceptable form of adult entertainment in the late 19th century, and that the animators did what they could to make the female mice dancers not appear too risque for general audiences. Personally, I find that scene a tiny bit questionable for kids, but it is generally harmless. All in all, I thought the film served as a nice homage to the classic Sherlock Holmes mysteries. So, if you're looking for a good, family-friendly detective story to watch, this one may be right up your alley. If I were to personally rate this film on a scale between 1 and 10, I'd give it a 7. It might not rank high among the absolute greatest to come from Disney, but as far as providing good entertainment is concerned, it managed to accomplish that goal just fine. Thus concludes my review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.